Well, we live in a digital world where all our messages and emails are tapped out on our devices and sent in a matter of seconds. But in some parts of the world, there is a big effort to push back and preserve that most basic form of communication, cursive handwriting. Our Chicago correspondent Andy Rosden found out that it's not just for nostalgia.
Here at Prairie School, north of Chicago, teachers and students pride themselves on their strong technology curriculum. These tech-savvy kids banging out algorithms and codes on their keyboards like concert pianists could very well be the tech titans of tomorrow. And that's why, every day, students here get intensive training in cursive handwriting.
It's too close to the bottom line, you know what I mean? So try to keep it a little bit, see if it's a little above the bottom line. Otherwise it kind of looks like a B.
A few years ago, school administrators here saw the handwriting on the wall, so to speak.
We heard our colleagues around us really question when we would have students visiting, prospective students here to Prairie School. They would ask, why would you be spending time on handwriting or cursive?
In fact, the school thought about ditching cursive writing as a curriculum. But they dug deeper and found plenty of research like this that shows cursive handwriting, the act of continuously drawing out letters and words, builds a better brain.
That when students do things with their hands, it helps them to organize and retain what they've done, better understand what they've done.
And that's when Prairie decided not just to keep its cursive handwriting curriculum, but actually expand it.
Because I could shoot cursive more, it's much easier, and I really like it.
Yeah.
But when I first started, it was like, what's the point of cursive?
It makes things go a lot faster when you have to take them out.
True.
When I first became a senator, the governor had to certify me. This is the governor's signature.
Illinois State Senator Kimberly Lightford does a lot of work with minority teenagers in her district, trying to help them get jobs by teaching them financial literacy, which includes the requirement that they sign important documents with a signature, even if it's on their tech devices. And she says she was embarrassed by what she learned.
One thing the kids had in common is none of them had a signature.
Lightford did something about it. Last year, she successfully introduced legislation in the Illinois State Assembly to make cursive handwriting mandatory in the state's elementary schools, a requirement that had gone by the wayside in Illinois and most other U.S. states over the last 10 years.
You go for a job application, it says print name, then it says signature. Your driver's license says signature. You sign your Social Security card, it says your signature.
And, she says, signatures are still used at the grassroots level to get people signed up for political activism.
We cannot ask people to give us what we're not teaching them to do.
At Chicago's Field Museum, world history is preserved in the most dramatic way to make sure future generations never forget how past generations communicated, from towering totem poles to the ancient writings of the Etruscans, the Egyptians, and the Greeks.
So then you have to ask, is there a payoff, if you will, for the kind of writing which is done this way, even on a piece of paper or on the wall?
Yes, says museum anthropologist John Terrell, who says we aren't doing a thing for our brains when we type out letters or emojis with our fingertips. But some people think we shouldn't worry so much about our newer, more offbeat way of communicating. The crazy emojis of today are no different than the hieroglyphs of ancient Egypt.
You know, this idea that emojis are somehow a degradation of communication, I think kind of sells the story short, when in fact it is just building upon the communication we already have. As we've seen throughout this exhibition, language is fluid.
But eventually, will keyboarding kill cursive and put it in a museum as just another ancient form of communication?
Cursive is not just a way of writing, it's a way of education. And then you have to ask, are we going to try to educate kids in the future? I don't have a crystal ball, but I sure hope we are.
Yeah, you're good. That's good.
Yay.
That's good. Good job.
And that's why here at Prairie School, they're putting more emphasis than ever on cursive handwriting before it becomes as dead as the dinosaur. Andy Roaston in Chicago for WION.